How you doing, folks? My name's Lee. Never done a bike video before, done other bits and pieces, but anyway, thought I'd do a review of my KTM 890R Duke, which I've just bought. My bike history is, to say it's fair, just putting it mildly, I started off, as most of my generation, on a Fizzy Yamaha FS1 E50, which was a restricted one, 30 mile an hour flat out. And then I had about a 20-year gap and I discovered things called women, which were better to ride than motorbikes, I found most of the time. And I then moved on to a big bike, which was a VMAX, which I bought in 2001. And now that was an absolutely mental bike. And the engine for that VMAX, why Yamaha never used it in any other bike, I do not know. Maybe it was just a bit too mental. But yeah, VMAX didn't go around corners, but in a straight line. Absolutely mad. And then I moved on to an R1, 99 R1. Bit of a crazy bike again. Needed a steering damper in order to get it to ride anywhere near the standard that you wanted it to ride to be safe. And then I went ZX12R. I've had two of them. I've had an A1, the first one, and I've had a B6, which is, I think, probably the last one, an 05. Both amazing bikes, but a bit heavy. More of a sports tourer than a sport bike. Better looking than a Hayabusa. Probably not quite as quick, but still a great bike. And then I went and I bought a Victory Hammer, which was a cruiser style bike and with a big 200 section rear tyre. Probably the most comfortable bike I've ever ridden in my life. It was absolutely brilliant. So torquey. Just you could ride it at any speed and there was always power there. Handling wise, once you got into the habit of counter steering, which the previous owner didn't know what that was, you found that it went round corners fairly well. He actually sold it because it couldn't go around the corner on it, and he said to me, "I'll keep your money," he said, "and I'll refund you if you go around the corner and you don't like it." And I rode 150 miles back on it, and yeah, no problem. I rang him up and said, "Have you ever tried counter steering?" And he was like, "Well, what's that then?" I was, "Well, there you are then." And then I've got a Benelli Tornado RS, which most of the people in the Italian bike community, you know, painted in Fortuna colours, and yeah, it's a proper tool. It's a 900 triple. It sounds like nothing else on the road. It is absolutely amazing, but it is the most unreliable bike I've ever had. It really is just a pop down box hill, show off on your bike. That's it. I mean, if you want to ride it properly, you got to get it on the racetrack, and as spares for it, and especially panels that are absolutely non-existent, if I did that and had a bit of an off, then the bike is completely gone forever, and there's not many on the road. So I keep it clean, I look after it, and I go out and I give it a kiss. And then I've now moved on to the purpose of this video, a KTM 890R Duke, which is an absolute weapon of a bike. It really is. I mean, it's probably those of you that know what they are. They're an 890cc parallel twin, which generally isn't the most exciting engine that you can put in a motorbike, but in this case KTM have worked wonders, and it really is. It's a tool. I did consider buying a 1290, but I wanted something that's small and light. It's actually 7 stone lighter than the ZX12 that I sold to buy it, so there's a big difference in weight there. It's only, I think, 115 horsepower, but you're looking at a 7 stone lighter bike. Now I'm 6'1", and I'm about 14 stone, and one of my concerns was this bike going to fit me, or was I going to fit the bike? And yeah, I do fit on it quite well. I've seen pictures of myself on the bike and I don't look overly big on it, and obviously when you first get in on it, if you've rode sport bikes most of your life like I have, the first thing you notice is no windscreen, so it's a bit weird being out in the open with no windscreen and just a speedo and a pair of handlebars. But I'm getting a screen for it anyway because I like a little bit of wind protection. Okay, what's it like to ride? Yeah, it's lively to say the least. It reminds me a little bit of the VMAX, that when you're riding it, you know that it wants to go faster all the time. And if you ride with earplugs like I do, Being a parallel twin and coming from an inline 4 bike, you look down, because it's not making a great deal of noise apart from the fact it's got an Austin Racing can on it. It's not making a great deal of noise. You look down and you're breaking the speed limit quite severely, which obviously I don't do. But I mean, if you wanted to commute on it, not sure about that. It really is, to me, a weekend toy for going out and doing little blasts on first thing in the morning when the roads are nice and quiet and safe. Would I take it touring? Maybe I would. The only thing that would probably put me off taking it touring is putting too many miles on it, really, which is a bit of a thing that we suffer from in this country of ours. That once a bike is 10,000 miles, everyone panics. And once a car hits 100,000 miles, everyone panics. But you know, most of these bikes and cars are bulletproof. You know, if you live in America, I've been to America and I've seen people with 250,000 miles on their bike. So, you know, 10,000 miles is nothing. But it's kind of like the barrier for people. If you put a bike up for sale more than 10,000 miles, everyone goes, oh, bloody hell. But anyway, let's reverse this camera. Bear with me, I ain't exactly a technology expert. And show you the bike.
And then there's League 2.
There she is. As you can see, the previous owners put the lovely Austin Racing can on it, which I believe is an arm and a leg. This one has got all the bells and whistles. It's got the tech pack on it, so it's got the quick shifter up and down. It's got anti-wheelie, traction control, you name it, it's got it, which turns a rider of my standard into a god on the road. I mean, it really is. When you sit on it, it's quite stiff. But once you get rolling, it's a bit like my Benelli. Once you get rolling, it all kind of makes sense. It's not as stiff as you think it is. It sort of complies. I don't know if I'd go down the route of getting the suspension set up. I mean, I've had that before. I've had suspension setups done, and the last one I had done was by quite a well-known local guy in the area who I paid money to have a suspension set up, and for some miracle he managed to do it without actually me being there. So I wouldn't be using that fella again, that's for certain. And everyone knows who he is in this area. Obviously I'm in Surrey, near Box Hill, and he's in a place called Bookham, so he's not a million miles away from here. But I certainly wouldn't use him again, because not only didn't he do as I asked him to, but also he's a rude and really obnoxious person. So anyway, back to the bike. As you can see, this one's got the orange frame as all the R versions have. It's also got these colossal Brembo brakes, which take very little finger pressure to stop the bike. It's got ABS, which is lean sensitive, as is the traction control. It's got the Brembo master cylinder, and as I say, it's just literally just a bit of pressure on this just to, you know, stop the bike. The only thing I don't like on it, to be honest with you, is the foot peg position, especially the rear brake and also the gear changer, which I feel are a little bit too far inside the bike. Especially on the gear changer, I don't really tend to use the back brake very much, but with the gear changer I found I've missed the lever a few times, so maybe I can mod that, or I can buy some aftermarket rear sets. We'll have to look into it. So, but as you can see, the previous owner took it on a track day, and as he was telling me, he started off in the novice group and he was soon up in the fast group, because it was wiping the floor of everything that sort of come past it on the bends. Down the straights, you're probably going to get done by a 1000cc superbike, but round the bends, you're going to absolutely annihilate him if you know how to ride this thing, because the suspension on it is just absolutely unbelievable, as is the rest of the bike. The only modification I've done so far is I've put these little stickers on the wheels, which I think, obviously it's personal preference, I think they look pretty good. And when you consider they were a tenner from AliExpress, you know, you can't really go wrong with a tenner. And they went on easy, take a bit of doing, bit of concentration, but for a tenner, I think they improved the looks of the bike overall. As I said earlier, I'm getting a screen for it. And I've also contacted a company called Pro Motorworks, who I believe are based in Sweden, about getting a new sticker kit for it. I love the colours the way it is, but the problem with people like me making videos like this, everyone rushes out and buys a KTM 890R Duke, and then next thing, you turn up and there's about 50 at your local bike meets. So me being me, I like bikes to be individual and put my own stamp on them. So I contacted the people at Motor Pro Works or Pro Motorworks, whatever they're called, and I've seen one of their sticker designs, and I've asked if they can do the sticker to my design, not theirs, i.e. change colours, because there was greens on the stickers that I chose that I don't like, which I want to swap for the KTM colours. So I'll get that sticker kit during the winter and I'll lob it on, or actually I'll probably get someone to put it on for me. And I think their kit is about 250 quid now. When you consider you can individualise your bike with 250 quid. When I had my Benelli painted at Altamura down in Camberley, everything is airbrushed on that, and I paid close to £4 for that paint job, and that's going back over 15 years ago now. So for 250 quid you can individualise your bike thanks to this company, and have your own individual bike where no one's going to have anything like yours, which is what we already want. We all want something that's going to stand out from the crowd, because we're all a bunch of show-offs. So anyway, yeah, I mean, riding position on this bike, as I said, I'm 6'2" or 6'1" and a half is important, and about 14 stone, and I'm comfy on it. I mean, riding it day to day, I've got it on road mode. I reckon if you were an inexperienced rider, you could well whack it on rain mode, and that softens everything up. So I reckon you could kind of work through the modes, which on this one I believe there's 4. There's rain, road, sport and track, which gives you the full Monty. It gives you the anti-wheelie turned off, the ABS turned off, the full Monty. I reckon you could probably ride through the modes over the course of a year and just get used to each mode before you move on to the extreme one. As I say, will I take it on the track? Probably not, because it's too pretty and I'd be crying my eyeballs out if it got smashed up. I wouldn't be worried about me getting smashed up, it'd be more the bike. So anyway, don't know if this has been a good bike video or a bad one, but if it has been a good one, then give me a thumbs up and a like, and don't bother subscribing, because I probably won't make another bike video. So unless you're into me talking about politics, which is my other love, don't bother subscribing, just give me a like, alright? And yeah, thanks very much, all the best.